Hi, it's Elaine, taking you along on my journey. Thought it was something that we could do together. I'm owner and creator at Inspired by My Angel, CLM. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm new at the art of wreath making. My journey began September of 2020. I had lost my part-time job. I am retired and was working part-time, and I lost that job due to the COVID. I worked in a small ladies boutique, and being a small business, she was affected with the closures and was unable to sustain the business, so unfortunately needed to close. So I was left with the decision, what am I going to do with myself? Not being sure, being September, and thinking, gee, I need a new wreath for my door. Fall was coming. My usual habit was to purchase a pre-made wreath. And I thought, gee, my income is down a little. Maybe I should try to make a wreath. I hadn't made wreaths prior. So my search began. As maybe many of you do as well, I started with YouTube. Found many creators who were willing to share how-to, your DIYs. So I started watching all of the videos that I could, and also on Facebook, many talented designers. So I went out, bought my supplies, and I made myself a wreath, and it came out quite well. And I loved it. I felt I had found my joy. So what I thought I would like to do is, being a beginner, give you that view and take you along on my journey. I've since joined a couple of design classes online, and I thought I would share with you what I'm learning along the way. And today what I'd like to create with you is a tulip wreath. So I've got some supplies here. I'm going to be building it on a grapevine wreath. I've already gone ahead and cleaned up my wreath. The back especially, we don't want anything sticking out that may damage your customer's door. So I've gone ahead and clipped that out, and I will go over it again. So this is the side I'm going to be designing on, and I'm going to be using these small white berries and all of these tulips that you see. I've got a very pretty light green, purple, and white. I think that'll make it's fresh looking, and I think it'll make a beautiful wreath. So let's get started, and we're going to do this together. I will be inserting my stems with glue. I use an electric skillet. It's just an ordinary kitchen skillet that you can buy at Walmart or online at Amazon. And it's a little easier to use something like that rather than the glue gun. I have a tendency to burn myself with the glue gun, and this works out much better. You can control the temperature. So that's what we're going to be doing. To start off, I'm just going to take my little berry stem. I'm going to dip the end in some glue. And I'm just going to be inserting it, just like that, into my grapevine. Nice and easy, nothing complicated about it. So what I'm going to do is place on the inside first, spacing them, just to give us a base to lay our tulips. So as I said, I'm going to stay to the inside, and I'm just going to go along like this. Inserting my stems. Pretty random. Just trying to leave, maybe an equal amount of space between. and bend them if you need to, the way you want them to sit on the wreath. So we're just going to go along and do this. If you are watching this video today, I would very much appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel and watch videos and come along with me, as I said, on my wreath making journey from the beginning. We'll see where that brings us. And I'm passing along what I'm learning in my classes. Like and share. That'll help my business. I have opened an Etsy shop inspired by my angel CLM, where this wreath will be listed. Okay, so we've got that pretty even. Let's go ahead and now we'll start on the outside of our wreath. So again, just dipping in the glue, and what my intention here is to go in between each of the ones we placed on the inside to the outside. Like I said, just filling in, creating a bed for our tulips. Also, if you do visit my Etsy shop to see what else I've done, please like my shop. You'll get notifications when I put new items in that you might be interested in. And again, it will help as a small business grow. So I would truly appreciate that. This seems like a bigger space. I'll go here, but we may need to go back and fill one in between. That's one thing about wreath making. It's not permanent. I'm learning as I go. If I don't like the placement of something, it's not a big deal. I can take it out. Okay, so we have one around the outside once. This space looks like it needs a little bit more. So I'm just putting that in there. Looks like maybe we could use another one over here. So I'm just going to go in, insert my stem. I'm going with the grain of the grapevine. So we've got another there. This is looking good. Looks like we could use one up here. Just turn that around. Right here. Take a look. Perhaps one more here. Making sure I'm making good contact with the vines within the wreath. Just keep checking. See where we may need another. I think I'm going to place one right in here. And one more on the outside here, I think. So we'll have a few left over. So when we finish up, if we see a spot, we'll have some leftover product to put in. Okay, I think that's pretty much evenly dispersed. That's one thing I have learned, is to try to do everything and have it even. Okay, so maybe now we'll start with our tulips. Okay, so I'm going to start with this very pretty, oops, Don't do that. I have a habit of doing that. I think I'm a little too aggressive. I push the stem up and I pop it right off. Luckily, that'll go right back on. So this has a little spiky and a leaf. Again, I'm just going to dip it in the glue. We'll start wherever. I think I'll go right in here. I'm going to go through the center. Another here. I hope you can see this okay. Looks like you're in the picture. I'm in the picture. So this is it. Nice and easy. I love the shade of these tulips. Just keep working our way around. Inserting at an angle. We insert at an angle because we don't want our stems to come out the back. And you wouldn't be making the contact. I'm going to just, this one seems a little long. I'm just going to clip that off a little. You wouldn't be making good contact if you were going straight in. Of course, we'll always have some glue strings. When we're all finished, we'll go back over our project and clean it up. Make sure everything looks nice. Okay, so we've completed with that green. So now let's come in. We'll do our white. Say I have these white ones. And what I'm going to do now is come in behind into the outer edge with my white. And we're going to repeat this process. So we've got those two there. We'll come down in this direction. And this is my first time creating this design. I've seen it done, and I thought it's something that we could do together. As I said, you're getting a perspective from someone who's new to the art, and hopefully you'll feel inspired to do the same, and hopefully find that joy that I'm talking about. It really has become a passion for me. It's like I'm obsessed. It relaxes me. It's rewarding to see how beautiful it turns out. Gives you a little quiet time just to reflect on what's going on in our world today. With so much going on, it's nice to have those quiet moments when you're away from the news and the arguing and such that's going on. And with the COVID, all the sadness with the deaths. Hopefully we're on our way. We have got the vaccine, and soon it will be over. We can only hope. That's starting to fill in nice. I know it was looking a little like, what is she doing? Okay, I think we've placed our white along with, oh, I might have missed this one. Let me put one in here. Just trying to get it evenly dispersed. Like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect, but we do want that. So here we are with what we've done so far. We've got the yellow, not the yellow, it's kind of a yellow green, and our white. And then what I thought would look nice would be to add some various shades of purple. It's so spring-like. So now I'm going to take my purple and go in spots that I see where we need some tulips. Oh yeah, that's going to look pretty with that. You see that? That looks nice. This is the first time I have done a wreath where the entire grapevine is filled. So not necessarily needing to add a bow. We could certainly see when it's all done if that's something that we would like to do. But I'm thinking this particular design might look nice without the bow. Just the simplicity of the tulips. It's very elegant looking. Okay, you can see that. Try to get that a little closer for you. How we're just going around and filling in. We've got a few extra of each color. So again, we'll be able to go back once we have it finished and we step back and take a look. Come a little to the outside here. Come back over towards the inside, just kind of going back and forth. I just pulled the strings and what's on my fingers and set it back in this skillet, and it just melts back in again. And what I use in this is just regular glue sticks. I happen to use the Gorilla Glue, but you just take the sticks, I'll put 4 or 5 in at a time, and just let them melt down. As I said, less likely to burn yourself because you can control the temperature of the glue. So I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope if you're in snow country, you're doing all right. I personally am here in Florida, in Lady Lake, Central Florida, and it's in the 70s today. Originally from the state of Rhode Island, where we got a lot of snow. And I must say, I do not miss it. Okay, I can see right here, we've got a little too much of a space. So I've got some white to the outside. I saved some of my stems, so I'm going to come back. I'm going to place a white right in here, just lifting up the other stems and sliding underneath, letting our white berries show through as well. And then I'm going to place one of our purple. Take this price tag off. And the product that I'm using today, I got at Michael's. Except for the grapevine wreath, I order those online, as I do many of my florals. But these I happen to pick up at Michael's, the berries and the tulips. Okay, so I'm going to come over here. Put that purple in there. I knocked my white off. Let's replace that. Lay that down. Okay, you can see it's coming out beautiful. We've still got tulips to insert, so we'll keep going around wherever we see a spot. So maybe go back in towards the inside, right in here. Just let your eye guide you. That looks nice. And maybe a white one here. Fill that in nicely. It's very sweet looking. This will be beautiful on the door. It would look so sweet in a little girl's room. On the door to her bedroom or on the wall in the nursery would be pretty. Anywhere. In the bathroom. I mean, there's so many uses for this. Okay. I think maybe right inside here. You can see a little spot. And just bend the stem. You can move it a little bit to your liking. And I still have some of my berries, so I think I'm going to go right in behind that. That's why it's nice to reserve some of your product to the end. Okay. Pulling my glue strings off as I go. Of course, I'll be taking pictures of this later to list this in my Etsy shop. I think right here we could use a little. I think I'm going to go ahead with this green again. Just sliding that under, filling in all the places. You can see how quickly this filled up. Oh, I wanted to let you know too, I used one full bush of this berry, which was this size. And each stem I cut in two. So we've used a full bush of the berry, and for the tulips, I've used 3 colors, and I've used 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 2 colors. So I believe I used 6 bundles of tulips, and they come like this. Let me show you. Okay, they come in a bush like this, and I had just gone ahead and removed everything. So let's see, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stems in each of these. from Michaels. They come in various colors. And of course our grapevine. So now I'm just going to hold it up and look, see where there may be an area that I want to fill in. I think I'm going to come to the inside a little bit with my white berry right over here. One thing that I have learned is you always want to cover your mechanics. You don't want customers to be able to see where you inserted the stems and the glue, which a lot of times I'll use a little Spanish moss if I have a large amount of glue and just place that over the glue. It just gives a more professional, clean look to the wreath that you're working on. Okay, so what can bring, I think right in here in the center we could use a little more. Right here. So these are just spilling over the inside just a little, not too much. I think I'll put another purple here. Cut this stem off. I don't need it to be quite that long. And as we're inserting all of these, of course, you know, we're getting more and more stem and glue. So I'll get a better fit if I cut that stem down a little. That looks nice there. I think we could use another piece of white. Keeps it light and airy. Just bend it a little towards the inside, and we've kept everything going in the same direction. It keeps your eye moving through the wreath. Looks like I've got a spot over here. This is what I was talking about. As you get it filled, you'll be able to look at it and see where you need to add. And again, we don't want anything sticking out too far. We want to maintain the line that we have going. It's close to the wreath. This isn't a real large wreath, so we don't want anything like sticking out like this to the side. We want to keep the eye moving around the wreath. I can see another spot here. Get some of my glue strings off. Let me just hold it up for a second and take a look. That's looking really nice. I mean, it's not my intent to totally cover the grapevine. The grapevine is pretty as well. You'll still see that somewhat from the side. Now, I don't know if how I feel about a bow. This is just so simple. The design. Let me just get a piece of ribbon and hold it up and see if that's something we think we would like to do for this wreath. I think I would want to keep it neutral. So I have just a beige. Trying to see where the point would be to add something like that. Let's form a little loop and see what we would think. I don't think it's necessary. I usually put a bow on all of my wreaths, but I think in this circumstance, I think it looks beautiful without. think I might just want to put, I've still got some tulips here, so I think I'll just continue. I've cut them, so we might as well place them in our wreath. But again, not so many that we're going to lose our shape. We want to maintain that nice shape that we have going on. Like this one, I think I'm going to just bend that more towards the inside. I don't want that sticking out quite as much. I think we have maintained a pretty uniform perimeter. I think maybe we could put something here. Just lift those up and tuck it in. That looks nice. That filled in there. And perhaps here. Just lift up our berries. Going with the grain of the grapevine. Just tuck that in. I think we did it. I think this is a beautiful wreath that someone will enjoy. As I said, it's got many uses. Actually, this wreath could get you through spring, summer, and right up until you're ready to get a new wreath for the fall, making it a very economical purchase, using as an everyday, and like I said, inside on a wall in the home, many uses. Okay, well, thank you so much for being with me today. I hope I was clear and I explained everything, and I've inspired you to try to make a tulip wreath. If that's not what you're into and you're just like to watch videos being made, I appreciate you being here. If you need a wreath, again, please go to my Etsy shop, Inspired by My Angel, CLM, and take a look and see what I have to offer. And I'll see you on the next video as we continue the new wreath making journey. Thank you again so much for being with me today. I really appreciate it.